Welcome back to Caveman Paradigm. This is where we don't know shit about nothing. We just stepped out the cave and we're about to figure it out. So, music has become a new thing for me, and I'm exploring all the little crevices, the nooks and the crannies about it. And I got a recommendation from a friend for Lukas Graham, who I've never heard of. 7 years old. So, we're going to do that right now. Let's get into it. I've never heard of this guy before.
Once I was 7 years old, my mama told me, go make yourself some friends or you'll be lonely. Once I was 7 years old. It was a big, big world, but we thought we were bigger, pushing each other to the limits. We were learning quicker. By 11, smoking herb and drinking burning liquor. Never rich, so we were out to make that steady figure. Once I was 11 years old, my daddy told me, go get yourself a wife or you'll be lonely. Once I was 11 years old. Always had that dream like my daddy before me. So I started writing songs, I started writing stories. Something about that glory just always seemed to bore me, cause only those I really love will ever really know me. Once I was 20 years old, my story got told before the morning sun when life was lonely. Once I was 20 years old. Only see my goals, I don't believe in failure, cause I know the smallest voices, they can make it major. I got my boys with me, at least those in favor. And if we don't meet before I leave, I hope I'll see you later. Once I was 20 years old, my story got told. I was writing about everything I saw before me. Once I was 20 years old. Soon we'll be 30 years old. Our songs have been sold. We've traveled around the world and we're still roaming. Soon we'll be 30 years old. I'm still learning about life. My woman brought children for me, so I can sing them all my songs and I can tell them stories. Most of my boys are with me, some are still out seeking glory, and some I had to leave behind. My brother, I'm still sorry. Soon I'll be 60 years old. My daddy got 61. Remember life and then your life becomes a better one. I made a man so happy when I wrote a letter once. I hope my children come and visit once or twice a month. Soon I'll be 60 years old. Will I think the world is cold, or will I have a lot of children who can bore me? Soon I'll be 60 years old. Soon I'll be 60 years old. Will I think the world is cold, or will I have a lot of children who can bore me? Soon I'll be 60 years old. Once I was 7 years old, mama told me, go make yourself some friends or you'll be lonely. Once I was 7 years old. Once I was 7 years old.
Wow, dude. Wow. 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 You know, you don't think about this when you're younger. At least I didn't. Nowadays, I think about it almost every week. You know, you got Monday is the same. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the weekend. Monday again. And you realize the repetition of this, and you realize that this time is flying by. When you're young, it takes a long time to get to your birthday or to Christmas. And as you get older, that clock's moving faster and faster. And now when I look at a clock, it's like sitting in front of a fan. The arms are going so fast. I remember asking my dad, like the weekend after my mom died. It was very emotional. And I remember saying, "Dad, you're healthy. You know, don't trip on that, dude. You're gonna live a long time." I think at the time he was 72 and he was on no medication for anything and very healthy. And I'm like, "You're gonna be around for 20 more years, Dad, at least. You know, you're gonna make it till your 90s, I'm sure." And he looks up at me and he's like, "I know, son. I know." He goes, 20 years. That's nothing. I never, ever thought about that until then. And I think about now, Christmas 2024 to Christmas 2025. Now we're saying 2026, and that feels so fast. 20 years from now made my dad cry and stress about how quickly that is. It's just something to think about, man. The time flies by, and when you're young, like my kids, like I just can't wait until I'm 20, or I can't wait until I'm 21 and I can go to a bar, or I can't wait until. Don't wish any of it away. Enjoy every second, because as you get older, you're needing some reading glasses, and those days are going by fast, and you realize as you're wasting away in working every day, you realize just how quick it is and how much you should appreciate those times that you're off. That was a beautiful song. That singing was amazing. The videography of that one was out of this world. That was great. What is this here? Lukas Graham top song music video playlist, 16 of them. Is he sitting there with the girlfriend? What's the other one? Share That Love. Which one's better, guys?